to premiere the film. I'm really excited for you guys all to see it.
Yes, same. I just want to thank everyone in here for being here. It's just really weird still seeing a theater full of people to watch you. And it is such a surreal feeling and a blessing. So I'm just really thankful that you guys just showed up. Really appreciate it.
Wow. How'd you guys enjoy that? A few things come to my mind when I think about the film and you guys' journey with it. The biggest one is perseverance. Everything you guys went through with getting it done during the pandemic and being affected by the strikes like so many films. And just wanted to say congratulations. Getting through it all. But the first question I have is, you know, it goes for both of you. I don't know if Rachel you want to start, but why this project?
I mean, I do think it's interesting, but it's like it's the resilience that Clarissa had, and like I really felt like her story deserved to be out in the world. And I think for me, I mean, you know, I've been reading for years and not finding the thing that I felt like was worthy of. You give so much of yourself when you make a movie. It's time, and in this case, it's a lot of time, but it's time away from your loved ones. It's everything, and so. To champion it, I think for me, I believed in it, and I felt like it was deserving of it, if that makes sense. And then obviously there are things I saw myself just from like being a female cinematographer. That's obviously the exception to the rule, right? And it's not enough just to be a good shooter or sort of look at differently. So that was something that I saw. I guess it was relatable in some way, but really it was just Clarissa's story deserved to be out there.
You right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, as an actor, you are always on audition. So it was one of those things where it was kind of sent to me, and I can only hope for the best. I knew it was amazing people behind it, and you can only dream of being a part of something with people like this, where you know that not only are they great, but they really care, and are going to take really good care of the story. And I think a story like this needs to be taken care of in the right way with the right people. And yeah, I think I went into the audition with not high expectations for myself at all. And I'm just really thankful that Rachel saw something in me, Francine saw something in me. And yeah, I can't thank them enough, because, it's already pretty tough out there, and I think naturally I thought they'd want somebody that was like this big A-lister actress, and I wasn't that. So yeah, I went into it with just the best that I could.
Which is incredibly humble, because she destroyed the audition. Like, she made herself so undeniable in the audition. I mean, among the various scenes, but like the scene you saw in the hallway, like she brought that level of intensity, and it was just like Francine, and my jaws hit the floor. And like, I mean, that was all you. Thanks, Rach.
I mean, I think for me, this entire thing was pretty scary for me. I think since the beginning I knew how much of a challenge it would be, which excited me, and I really wanted that, and knew that it would be something that not only have I never seen myself step into, but anyone else that's ever seen me, has never seen me in that way either. So I just knew it'd be scary. It was me completely being vulnerable and stripping myself of any makeup or hair or anything, and how I'm normally perceived. I knew that would be something new for me, and that excited me, but it scared me. It scared me a lot. And Clarissa is also a person who, if she is not happy, she will say it. So I really wanted to please her. I tried to, take as much as I could from just the things that I did do before, but also let go of those things as well. You know, I knew I had habits and certain things that I just kind of wanted to reprogram in a way, because it just, you know, the approach was very different for this in particular. So I think that as far as just fighting goes, I've never done that before, so that was completely.
Not even like in life, you know?
Never.
That's amazing.
Never, no. And Clarissa asked me that, and that shook her when I told her I have never been in a fight. She was so nervous. She was like, "What?" I'm so sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I was like, "We worked really hard, I promise." But yes, no, I trained really hard to make it look as good as possible. So
You're underselling yourself again. Ryan does every single one of her own stunts in that film. Like, to respect the people that you are working with is everything, right? And so for me to have, obviously, the writing on the page, which is, I mean, it doesn't get better than Barry Jenkins, but also whenever I, you know, was at a loss for something or needed advice on, I mean, like who better to call than the best, right? So I think, yeah, first feature, Barry Jenkins as your writer-producer, like, it truly got lucky.
and it was literally incredible, and I continuously say that I don't think I could have done it without him. I think that he was such an amazing leader on set and looked at me as an equal, which I really, really appreciated going into something like this where I, you know, can easily feel pretty small. And with Rachel as well, like, you guys both created such a safe space for me. And Brian has literally become like my brother, and I'm just really thankful for him and him cheering me on throughout the entire process and making sure that I believed in myself when it was probably clear that I wasn't in that mindset, and he kind of brought me back to life whenever I needed it. And it was just incredible to learn from him and have a scene partner like him. He is one of the best, so it was a dream.
What was you guys' first scene?
He's not coming to China, and it's in a hall. Was the very first scene that we did, and yeah, I remember being frustrated too with that scene, and it was so funny because that was the very first one, and I was like, "Oh, this is embarrassing," but he made me feel really comfortable, and it was so weird because it felt like we already knew each other, but that was also our first time meeting. It was really crazy how it worked out. But yeah, he was amazing. So that was the first scene. Yeah. I just completely agree with that. I think it's coming out at the coolest time ever. Yeah, I hope that more people pay attention to the story too, because of the time that it's coming out. People seem to be more open to, I guess, women's sports and seeing that there's excitement in that. So I hope that that just helps her story reach even more than it normally would. So
Have y'all played it for any?
there's so much that you can take away. I think the obvious one is her story being so inspiring, and knowing that you can overcome so many things, no matter what, no matter how bad it is, how dark it can be. If you believe in yourself, as confident, there's so much that you can take away. I think the obvious one is her story being so inspiring, and knowing that you can overcome so many things, no matter what, no matter how bad it is, how dark it can be. If you believe in yourself, as confident, I just completely agree with that. I think it's coming out at the coolest time ever. Yeah, I hope that more people pay attention to the story too, because of the time that it's coming out. People seem to be more open to, I guess, women's sports and seeing that there's excitement in that. So I hope that that just helps her story reach even more than it normally would. So.